Let's switch over and talk about beautification. We're talking about Elf, and I wonder where they get that name from. Because when I think of Elf, and I think of Sephora, I think of what's the other Ultra Beauty, Elf. I mean, I guess the symbol is actually says the name is ELF Beauty. I guess that's the full name of the company. So, okay, that makes sense to me. But let's take a look at they are considered the household and personal products industry. What do you got?
I was very curious what ELF stood for because you asked. Eyes, lip, face.
Oh, of course. Now it makes sense. Because when I think of Elf, maybe close to Christmas, I'm thinking of little elves running around with Santa.
Well, and it was followed by periods after each. So I'm like, it's got to stand for something, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
it does. And it is different. Like Ulta doesn't, Ulta's more of a store place, right?
Right.
ELF is actually a producer, a manufacturer, a brand.
That they sell. And you might tell us where they sell this at when you get to it. But they are, again, in the household and personal products industry. Symbol is ELF, same as the name. But short on the float is pretty high, 10.4%. That's when we get a little bit nervous. Institutional owned is 97%. Wow, PE ratio 52.6 versus 25.2. Price to sales 3.1 versus 2.6. Price to book value is 3.9 versus 4.9. Price to cash flow 25 versus 6.9. They have a nice PEG ratio of 1. Now, over the last year, unfortunately, their earnings are down 24.3%, while the industry is up 7.3%. The sales did climb by 13.8%, but yet the industry was only up 1.2%, so positive there. They get a 5-year earnings per share growth estimate from the analysts of 27.3%, but that's for the company. The industry is a negative 12.8%, so that's positive for Elf there. They don't pay a dividend. I'm disappointed on that. The balance sheet, current ratio 2.7 versus 1, so a lot of liquidity there. Debt to equity 0.8 versus 1.2, that's a positive. Net profit margin 5.9, not as good as the industry at 10.4. Return on equity not very good, 7.2 versus 27. Free cash flow not looking very good, 142,000 versus 7.7 billion dollars for the industry. So don't like seeing that. What do you got going forward, Chase?
Yeah, so current price here again for Elf Beauty, their ticker symbol ELF, $73.51, 52-week range. The low here is $49.40 and the high $150.99. I did look up the all-time high as well, as I thought it was a little bit higher, and in June 2024, it did hit an all-time closing price of $218 per share.
Wow.
Now, the thing you look at is the stock is down about 41% this year. They dropped more than 31% after issuing disappointing guidance last week. So, I mean, the stock has really been hit again so far. And yes, where they sell, I mean, they're in Target, Walmart, online. It seems like they really try and sell more online than your normal beauty brands. They target that. But the interesting thing that I looked at is their target market is generally Gen Z,
Wow.
value-driven shoppers.
You know, and I take my wife shopping a lot. She likes going to Sephora and stuff, and she likes trying things, touching them, talking to the person. I don't know. We have Sarah here. I know she wears makeup. I mean, it would seem like makeup is something that you don't want to buy online unless you know what you're doing because you want to test. I mean, Sephora, I just get baffled. I go in there like, they all look the same to me. There's so many different products. How can you buy this online? I mean,
Well, they are in stores. So,
Right.
that's one thing. If you have a brand that you like and you use and you get the same product every time, I think it's okay to buy online, right? But you're right. Before you buy it the first time, you probably want to test it. But
Right.
if you're getting the same one, because my wife, she'll get the same product that she knows online. And
Right.
you don't need to test it out if you already have
No.
it. So I don't know if that's kind of their thing where they have the footprint of actual brick and mortar, but then also they try and drive more repeat purchases online potentially.
I hope my wife's not listening to the show today, but she has so much makeup, so many different things. It just boggles the mind. Like, do you use all those things? So I think it's part of going into the store. It's like exciting to get stuff and something new. Yeah, and Sarah's over there shaking her head. Yes, that's what it is. So I mean, you get something, but then you want to go back and what do they got new?
Yeah, and I'd be curious. I didn't look it up because ChatGPT said digital first beauty lovers is their one of their targets.
What?
Digital first beauty lovers, which is kind of ironic, right? Because you put makeup on to go out,
I don't even know what that means. Digital first beauty lovers.
Yeah, so you're prioritizing digital shopping over brick and mortar shopping. And again, that makes sense as a Gen Z consumer. That's even younger than me as a millennial.
Yeah.
They're going to be much more likely to shop online than brick and mortar.
Wow.
But again, they do have that brick and mortar presence, and I didn't look up. I'd be very curious what their online versus brick and mortar presence is.
Yeah.
But the big problem with this stock, and this is just interesting to me, we've looked at now 3 companies that have just been, I don't want to say decimated, but hit quite hard.
Yeah.
Yet another one, March 2027, estimated earnings per share $3.55. So we get a target sell price of $58.93. This stock still trades for over 20 times future earnings, even after a 41% pullback. And this is something that, again, concerns me with the market, is things just got so expensive that even pullbacks almost aren't buying opportunities in many cases because things are just so expensive.
They're still expensive. And that's why, I mean, we've been buying a little bit, made a couple buys over the last month or so. And we found some great companies that have a higher, much higher target price than what we paid for them. But you're right. I was hearing the same thing, like what? Down 40% and still not a buy. So a lot of things got hyped up, which means there could be a pullback in the market, which you talk about. But again, that's where value comes through. It will pull back somewhat, but not nearly as much. So what was the target sell price again? 50, you said?
Yeah, 58.93.
Yeah. So can't recommend a buy there at all, can we?
No.
Anything else you want to say on that?
No.
No.
Not a beautiful stock.
Ooh, that was pretty good. I got a comment. People can't see this on the radio, but the podcast TV they can. Beautiful tie.
Thank you.
I like that color. I mean, is that new? I've never seen that before.
No, I only have about 5 ties. I'm what they call a minimalist.
I guess so. I think I got 50 ties. So, but,